What up, YouTube? What up, UFC fans? The mega fight. This is the Mayweather Pacquiao of the UFC. This is, the two best fighters in the UFC. Probably the highest paid fighters in the UFC. But I could be wrong. George St. Pierre, who's been medically cleared to fight at UFC 154 and has that date in the Bell Center in Montreal. He's scheduled to face Carlos Condit, but no one wants to see that fight. They want to see George St. Pierre versus Anderson Silva, the mega fight, right? That's the fight everybody wants to see. Will it happen? A lot of negotiating needs to take place. Negotiations on the money, which probably isn't so hard, but negotiating on the weight might be very difficult. George St. Pierre is a full-fledged, welterweight in the UFC, which is 170 pounds. While Anderson Silva is the UFC middleweight champion, 185 pounds. So is George St. Pierre going to move up 15 pounds to face Anderson Silva and challenge him for the middleweight title? Probably not. He's probably looking for a catch weight, right? Just like Anderson Silva isn't going to come down 15 pounds. They need to meet at a catch weight. How about 177, 178? Who knows if Anderson Silva can even make the weight. But Dana White said this could very well happen, although many, UFC writers and commentators, they think that it's overdue. This fight's overdue 3 years. Well, the mega fights always take a long time. Just ask, your friendly boxing fan friend. They always take a long time to mature and to actually happen. And often what happens is the mega fights happen when the fighters are past prime. It is what it is, right? Well, in this fight, in my opinion, if I were to predict this fight, there's obviously two scenarios that could occur. One, there was, we all remember Anderson Silva being out-wrestled by Chael Sonnen over 5 rounds. Chael Sonnen was on roids, yes, but he was getting out-wrestled. Now, that could occur with a guy like George St. Pierre, who is an excellent wrestler, who is an excellent defensive fighter standing up, but he's a brilliant, brilliant wrestler and grappler when he's on top. And, BJ Penn learned that. Matt Hughes learned that. There are many guys that learned that. So with that wrestling ability, George St. Pierre can dominate the fight. With that alone, it's possible. What's also possible is Anderson Silva can dominate the fight with his striking. That is the dynamic of this fight. Is George St. Pierre's wrestling ability versus Anderson Silva's striking. Because Anderson Silva's knocking everybody out. He's been knocking out everybody they put in front of him, including Chael Sonnen, Vitor Belfort, Forrest Griffin. Easy, right? So many guys have fell to Anderson Silva's, fists and feet. Many men have been knocked out, including Yushin Okami. However, can George Pierre do it? It's really up to him. Personally, I would love to see him move up in weight. Like if he had a just a one fight at 185 pounds just to test himself in middleweight, and then another fight for the title. That's how it's done in boxing. But if they can meet at 177, 178, then that's perfect. Thoughts, comments. What do you think on the mega fight? George St. Pierre versus Anderson Silva. I think there's a good chance that either fighter could win. If I had to pick, I think Anderson Silva is the best fighter in the world in the UFC. And I think at some point, like Matt Serra did, how he hurt George St. Pierre with one punch, I think Anderson Silva would be able to do that. and finish him off. Because when Anderson Silva has you hurt, he finishes you off. So, if I had to bet on it, I would have George St. Pierre by decision and Anderson Silva by knockout. It is what it is, guys. Take care. Peace out.